over under and how many times you've had to say clutch up over the last 2 weekends?
Oh, oh, I don't even know. I don't know. Couldn't tell you.
When obviously it's a message you preach all the time.
Mm-hmm.
You don't want to belabor the point, but it's a success and failure situation. So how do you try to get that across to a group who's heard it for years, and when it's an issue that's it's been a struggle at times, and at times also come through in some of your wins very, very nicely in that area. So how do you get the results to come through a little bit more consistently?
I think we just got to continue to play and get back out on the field. This group is, I think this is a really, really special group. I've said that since the beginning of the year. We are getting runners on, so we know how to get runners on. It's just continuing to drive runners in. I don't think there's a major thing that I have to tell them. I think it's just us continuing to go out there and play. This group knows how to do it. This is a veteran group. So, I think about early in the year, you grow. You probably grow a ton in these non-conference tournaments. And you grow and you make mistakes and good things happen and a lot of different things happen. And then you want to get the win along the way. Like all of that is taking place. Just unfortunately, we didn't get a couple of the wins that we wanted.
Your group talked about wanting to take the field as a confident group this year. Do you still see that? I mean, is that wavering at all? Or they still have that mentality you want to see?
Yeah, no, not at all. We just need to keep playing. Sometimes you just have to, the season's long and we have plenty of softball left. And sometimes you just got to work through some things. And that's some things that we had to do this past weekend is work through it and just didn't get some of the results that we wanted.
Is there anything you've been surprised by these first couple of games?
I just think, I don't know, surprised. I just think this group is really talented. I just think this group, we're not going to have to depend on one or two people. I think you're going to see a lot of different people's step up and shine. A lot of different athletes step up and shine. Where I think sometimes in the past we would rely so heavily on a couple that it put a ton of pressure on them. I think this group, you'll feel that different. That Alyssa Daniel could step up. And, hit an oppo bomb, or Hannah Delgado could slap and then come up and hit a gap. I just think you'll see different people throughout the year.
We just talked to Taylor, and she's obviously come through in a lot of really tough situations for you. What's made her just capable of just stepping right in and handling that pressure?
I just think she's a competitor. I think she's played a tough schedule throughout summer ball. She's played on a tough team, and I don't know. I think she's just handled herself really well. I felt like even when we were recruiting her, she was very composed and just had a really good competitive spirit. And so I just think you see that shining through.
What's going to be the key for her as teams get more film to review and these more dartfish charts to look at? When she goes through the lineup the second and third time in the weeks ahead, what's going to be the key to getting the same kind of results when better and better hitters hear more?
She's faced a tough hitters already. So to me, I don't think she changes a thing. I think she just continues to trust in who she is and not to try to do everything on her own. We've got an unbelievable defense behind her, which I think she really trusts.
Potentially ignorant question here, and I apologize if so, but given the caliber of play she played at before coming here, is there a book on her?
Yeah, she's playing against athletes that she grew up against. Instead of now them being on different summer teams, they're just on different college teams. And so it's not just her, it's Stevie Hansen, it's all these guys, they've been playing against each other since they were young. It's just now they're playing for different colleges versus different summer teams.
Paige said it sounds like you won't get to play Jazz on Thursday, but how excited is KK about this weekend getting to go up against her sibling?
Yeah, I think that's awesome. I love that. I think it's so cool. I hope it's not stressful for the family, but I think it's pretty commendable for the Humphreys family to sit back and go, gosh, I've got two daughters, playing softball, they're student athletes playing softball, and to get it, I think it's such a great opportunity for them, regardless of the outcome. I think it's just what a blessing.
Play Notre Dame again this week. Obviously, you faced off against them in the regional last year. How much different are they this season compared to a year ago?
I think Notre Dame is always Notre Dame. I think they pitch really well. They hit well. They're coached by a very good coaching staff. So I would expect them to be no different than what we saw last year.
Is there, because bunk was such a mainstay in particular, and Terra for that matter, what are you looking for as you're kind of experimenting in the 2-hole in terms of if it's just about who's the hottest bat, and the highest number of plate appearances in the 2 and the 3? Obviously, you're trying to avoid some double plays, so that takes some guys out. But what are some of the traits you're looking for in that 2-hole as you're kind of experimenting with different options?
Yeah, I think just similar to, what we looked in the past, somebody that can hit for high average, that has the ability to create some different looks. I think we'll eventually get that situated. We've had a couple different people in that spot, and I think that's what right now is about, is figuring out what your lineup looks like. And so we might figure that out this weekend and it stays the rest of the way, or we might still be working on that. But I just think somebody that has the ability to have high average. One thing Kai's doing a great job of is she's constantly on. She's able to steal second, so it's somebody that can come up and be clutch with some RBIs.
Is there one situational trait there? Like, say, obviously, once some power, that would be nice. Does righty-righty splits, just because they're going to be getting so many plate appearances, is that one that, whether it's righty-righty or lefty-lefty, or are you open to, if it needs to be a rotational thing based on matchup, based on the pitcher, that 2 may flip with the 5 or the 6?
Yeah, possibly. I think matchup you could see. I think just seeing where people are at the moment, who's hot, who's not. Like, we're not afraid to change our lineup. You've seen that. Like, we change our lineup a lot. Lots of times we'll do it for matchups and just seeing what the current situation is. But
2 starts in for Elise, obviously had her second one. How's it been for her just working her way back from injury, and how have you seen her grow?
I think it's been great for her. It stinks when you got the injury bug and you're sidelined and you want to contribute, but you can't contribute. And so I think for her, just having the ability to get back out on the field and pitch, like, she's been waiting a long time to do that. So I've enjoyed watching her throw. She's got really good movement. She's got a great changeup. She's been doing a good job of attacking the strike zone. So it's just continuing to build her innings up. And last year it was going to be difficult for her to get through, 1 inning, and now she's getting to 3 to 4. So it's just, as the season goes, continuing to build her innings, to build her load up.
Do you have a pitch count on her?
No, not so much a pitch count. We have a certain thing that we go by. But I mean, like, right now you see her getting between 9 and 12 outs right now.
Does it surprise you at all how consistent Kai's been? I mean, it feels like every game she's on base and she's a steal second. Does it surprise you?
Yeah. Last year she was injured and had to sit out and watch, and it's amazing the perspective you get when you have to sit out and watch. And I think when she returned to play last year, she returned with that perspective. And just is in a really cool place. Like, as these guys get older, they just start to get a sense of what they need to do, and maybe things that they would make a big deal with when they were younger, they just don't make it a big deal. She's in a great spot. Like, she understands what she needs to do, how she needs to operate, and she's been excellent with it.
Were you hoping to get a look at Jordy at the end, and what do you think of the pitchers that you will be facing? Or, well, you don't know all of them necessarily, but what you've seen from the pitchers you will face, were you hoping to see her, and obviously the disappointment that comes with a player of that caliber going down so early?
Yeah, I feel horrible for her. I love greatness, and I love when greatness is on my team. But I also just love greatness in general. And so just to see what she's done in her career and to see the injury that she sustained, I think it just stinks. I think it sucks for her, but I would expect for her to be bigger and stronger when she comes back. So we wish her the best in full recovery.
We saw this past week, Missy, that the Big Ten put out the volleyball matchups, the opponent rotation, for who that team will be playing and whatnot, and they paired the West Coast teams with home and homes. I know there was a discussion for softball and baseball of how many series and who will be permanent and all that kind of stuff. Any progress in your perspective as to who that might be? What next year's schedule is going to look like for softball?
No clue. We're just waiting. We're just waiting for them. So if you get it before us, you can let us know. But Yeah, we haven't gotten any information yet. I mean, if they're just now getting volleyball out, it sounds like it's, it's going to be a little bit of time until they get ours.
How do you think Reagan's done as a pinch runner, and what does she kind of bring in that situation?
I'm sorry?
How do you think Reagan's done as a pinch runner? And,
Oh, Reagan
what
Leg.
does she bring in
Yeah.
those situations?
She's been great. She runs really well. She covers the outfield. She's got good range. I think she's done great on the base path. I think she's got good instincts. I don't have to tell her what to do. She understands. I think she makes really good decisions.
Is there a reason why you went to her a lot as a pinch runner this weekend?
Well, we've been going to her, so I think she's done a great job of it. I mean, I think you'll continue to see her pinch run for us.